What's he doing?
I snooped again.
It was a night shift. I knew that I was working with Rich that night. I'd worked with him, I think, 3 times in that week already.
Me and Angel, we were crewed together. I work with her quite a lot. I know it's a good shift. When I work with Angel, we get on, and we've been friends for a long while.
We've been friends for years. We have the same work ethic, I would say. We have the same professional curiosity. We have the same passion, the same interest in the job. Came in for our shift together. We were actually working on the Kensington-Chelsea borough that night. And I remember it wasn't a very busy evening. I think we had a couple of calls, but by the time it got to about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, it dipped and there wasn't really a lot of calls. There wasn't anything going on. So we decided to go and get some refs and food. As we were getting some food, a call came out.
Got new Y-grade coming through, potential theft of motor vehicle.
A Range Rover had been stolen about half an hour ago, someone near Battersea, and the tracking company have called and it was pinging SW5. We're around the corner and I know that if there's a live tracking, it's there somewhere in that radius and it's been driven around.
I've got access to the national ANPR system, which basically tells you if there is a marker on a vehicle, like a vehicle that's stolen, for example. And we knew that it was moving up through areas where there were ANPR cameras, so we took the professional assumption that it had probably changed number plates. So we were basically just looking for any Land Rover Defender that looked the same. We were sat at a junction, and as we were sat at the junction, I think we were getting ready to turn right, and this Land Rover Defender just drives right past the front of our car, and the driver kind of locks eyes with both of us because he went right in front of us. And we both kind of went, this could be it.
I made quite good eye contact with the driver. Why did he just stare at me? A natural instinct was to just follow the car. Angel was doing checks in the car while I was following it and updating the local units and the officers that were with the victim.
So we got behind the vehicle. I put up over the local channel that this could be it. And we needed to kind of risk assess what this could turn into. Prior to us even doing this, I'd shared my location with the other 4 cars that were looking for it. And I said, just in case anything happens, because we're not on our own borough, we're not on our own grounds, we don't know the area quite as well.
I remember this very clearly. It turned right into Somerton Road. It's a 2-way road, but it's very narrow. There's cars parked on both sides, so it's just enough space for one car to move, right? The vehicle stopped.
And I thought, it's a bit odd, because it's not the usual reaction to just stop in the middle of the road, in the middle of a junction. I remember when he did turn and stop, he pulled a little bit further right, so he was more centered in the road. And I thought, it's a bit of a weird maneuver, but again, it's not anything that's out of the ordinary, because a lot of times when police do stop people, sometimes people do panic, even if they're, not doing anything wrong. What's he doing?
So I kind of trapped and just braced for the impact.
I remember I saw the reverse lights come on and I kind of repeated, what's he doing? Something's about to happen. And then everything happened so quickly. I think it probably will happen within about a fraction of a second, but I feel like in those kind of instants, time kind of slows down a little bit.
Yeah, the impact itself was quite nothing I've experienced before. I've been rammed by stolen vehicles and suspect vehicles before, but this was something I've not experienced yet.
The wheel was pretty much directly in line with my face. And I remember seeing it come towards the vehicle and I kind of braced for it to ram us. And within that split second, I kind of thought, okay, we can deal with the ram. It's fine. We'll just stop. We've got the new plates. It's fine. Like, we'll just deal with it when it happens. And then I remember it didn't stop.
Control from 4-2, the stolen vehicle is on its side.
A couple of things that stick out in my mind even now is the sound of the windscreen crushing and the tyres rolling over it and the windscreen's trying to collapse. and the noise of crushing.
In that moment, I think I kind of thought, this is it.
Angel was going to be crushed because the windscreen started collapsing on her side. The vehicle probably weighs 2 tonne. If it does go through the windscreen, I was like, Angel's going to die.
There's heavy damage to the front of the police vehicle, so make sure those officers are checked over, please.
Once it hit the windshield and it kind of went over, I remember feeling this kind of mist of glass that just shattered like all over my face, all over my laptop, all over my phone. But then I remember opening my eyes and not seeing the car. And I was like, not brilliant, but I was like, I'm still here. I looked to Rish to kind of double check that he was okay. But I remember at that point, I was like, oh my gosh. And then my first thought was just, I need to get out of this vehicle, like right now. And I need to try and find this guy.
Control, we've been reverse rammed by this vehicle.
I knew that if I did get eyes on him, that I was probably going to use my taser to try and contain him. He'd just use the car as a weapon to, in my mind, try and seriously injure us or maybe kill us.
Gold Foxtrot 7-2 Lima November Whiskey. Where is he, where is he, where is he?
And then I remember seeing the door just pop open.
Police officer with a taser! Keep your hands where I can see him now! Keep your hands where I can see them now!
I immediately drew my taser. I knew I wouldn't be able to activate it or really do anything with this, but I thought, do you know what, if he complies at this point, then we can at least talk him into a position of control, and I can kind of risk assess it again based on his reaction. So he pops open the top of the Land Rover, doesn't listen to any of my instructions at all, doesn't really have any kind of reaction to me saying keep your hands where I can see them or stay where you are.
Stay where you are! Police officer with a taser!
So I kind of knew in that point it was game on, really.
He had dropped down and went behind a van and was running directly towards me. At this stage, what I saw was he was carrying a waitress bag and a black object in his hand. In that split second, that black object looked like a knife sheath to me, so I activated my taser twice.
Confirm the junction, please.
He had a big puffer jacket. It didn't work, so I chased him.
Now, thankfully, Rish runs marathons and stuff, but I don't. So I knew that I was like, I'm not going to be able to keep up with this guy. He looked about 6 foot tall. He was quite big build.
Carried on chasing him for about a few minutes. That's when I felt pain on my legs and my shoulder because the impact had caused some damage to my knees and my shoulders. I carried on chasing, got to the point where it appeared he had given up and he was leaning against a wall. Pointed my taser towards him and gave him instructions.
Male detained near Cricklewood Bridge, next to David Lloyd's. More units.
He put his hands down towards his waistband. So I tasered him again, and this time it did work.
Taser, taser! Taser, taser! Male tasered! If you move, you'll be tasered again! Get on your stomach! Hands behind your head! If you move, you'll be tasered again! Control. We're safe and well. Mel's been tasered.
I think because me and Rish have worked together so much and we've dealt with a lot of vehicle crime, a lot of things like this, a lot of suspects making off dangerous people, we both work the same way, which is very much if I'm okay, if you're okay, we carry on and we finish the job, which is the way I've always liked to work. You see a job through to the end. But at that moment, when I kind of felt all the glass shatter on top of me, I obviously thought about myself and my own safety. I thought about my family, my husband.
With any traumatic incident, it's impossible not to think about it outside of work. It's almost impossible. So I built a process in my head, I would say, where I know I'm going to be thinking about it for a few days. I know it's going to affect me in some ways. Things are going to be slightly different. I can't go back to complete normal straight away. But I did get nervous the first car pulled over, especially a Range Rover. I think it was a Range Rover, the first car pulled over straight after that. But you got to have a process in your head how to deal with it.
I love my job and I love doing what I do. I love my team, I love helping people, but I think due to what happened, it means that my risk assessment might always be a little bit higher than other people's, which I don't think necessarily is always a good thing, especially mentally, when you're trying to mentally prepare yourself on the way to a call. Obviously, this was completely spontaneous, and there was nothing that we could have predicted to happen.
We've got a new Y-grade coming through, potential theft of motor vehicle from Seymour Walk, that's SW10.
When we do go to dangerous calls, which we go to every single day, you mentally prepare yourself for what's going to happen when you get there. If someone wants to do something to get away, they will, at no cost for someone's safety. And unfortunately that happens quite a lot, especially in our job, because I think a lot of the time people just see the uniform and they don't think that there's someone behind that uniform. They don't think about the fact they've got family, friends. In that moment, you have to just bypass that. You can't think about this as being a personal thing. You have to think, I need to be professional. I need to show the same kind of care and comfort that I would to this suspect that's just trying to kill me. I need to still care about their well-being. And I feel like to police officers, that's kind of second nature. You kind of have to put away the personal things and the personal emotions that you might feel towards that person, like anger or resentment or anything like that. And you have to kind of crack on with your job. You have to be professional. You have to remember every reason why you're here. And almost consider yourself slightly lucky that he's maybe done this to us who are trained to deal with it and not to some poor member of the community, you know?